Hey everybody, how is your evening going? Obviously, I'm not seeing any responses, so I'm going to guess it was pretty good. Um, what? Oh, thanks, bud. My buddy here brought me a limited edition Coffee Death. My favorite beer is a Irish Death, and they've done a limited edition of Coffee Death. Sorry, Cookie Death. And the best part of it is it's not quite leave the really hard aftertaste. So it's really, I really like it. And if you're into beers, especially dark beers and ones that are, I guess you could say high in alcohol content. This is like 7.3, I think, or 7.8. Then you might want to give it a try. But I want to jump on, and I'm having a cigar. First one in a long time, I got to tell you, over a year. And it's like I've been stressed. So I'm kind of laying back, but I've heard some things I just kind of had to jump on here for a little bit. Also, I wanted to share this that I got. There it is. The Disney water tower. That I got last time I was in Disneyland. Actually, I had it shipped to me. They're very nice. They're about getting things shipped for you. However, UPS, I'm going to blame them. It was broken. The glass was broken, the top part, plus one of the legs were broken off. Cheers. And I called the Disney store customer service. The girl was really super, super nice. She basically listened to what I had to say about it being broken and blah, blah, blah. She looked up the original, buying receipt that I had from Disneyland. And she just said, look, throw the broken one away and I'm going to have a new one shipped right out to you. And it was here within about 3 days. Perfect shape, perfectly done. She was just super. So I can't say enough good things about customer service at the Disney stores and with Disneyland. And I don't know, I just really liked it. It was something I wanted to have. And I wish, because in my days of having spent time on Warner Brothers lot, those of you who've ever seen the Warner Brothers tower that they have, that I haven't seen it in a long time, but it used to have just the shield, the Warner Brothers shield on it. And then a few years later, the Warner Brothers shield had all of the Animaniacs crawling around on it. And I just thought, it's too bad. I'd love to have one of those because a lot of good memories there and some funny memories, but we won't get into those at the moment. What I wanted to jump on about was, I'm going to call them Disney trolls. I have no other way to put it. I've been reading some of the things in Brain Baked, or whatever the hell his name is, who comes on and how much he loves it and how great it is. And he's got, those yearly pass. And there's a lot of them like that. They get on there and they tell you how great it is, but then they like unleash a tirade about how wrong it is, like Lightning Lane. It's horrible. They need to take that away. Oh, the price is getting too expensive. And yeah, I'm not going to say it's cheap. It's not cheap. Let's face it. But let's be honest about one thing, and that's they aren't any more expensive, than Universal Studios. And I love it when people go, I'm going to go to Universal Studios instead. Well, go. Shut up. Keep your mouth to yourself. Quit pounding on one over the other. I mean, because we certainly see it the other way too from time to time, which is just ridiculous. And then we got the anti-Iger people who he needs to go and Peltz needs to take it over. And yeah, I agree with you. What a joke. Here's a guy who knows nothing and hasn't probably worked a decent day in his life in Peltz, and he wants to take over Disneyland. And people are backing him? Nah, I don't think so. Not anybody with a half a brain. And why, here's my big thing. Oh, well, us key members, us people who have yearly passes, we're the ones that are the important ones around here, and we should be allowed to do this, and we should, be that, and we should have that. And it's like, you that's great that you have the money to do that and live close enough to be able to do that. I would do that. I mean, I am now a gold key or whatever you want to call it holder, but it doesn't allow me. I mean, it doesn't give me really anything other than a chance to buy some tickets early or discounts at the Disney store, that sort of thing. And you know, I would in a heartbeat, if I lived there very close, I would buy a yearly pass because I think that I would spend a lot of time in there. And I had a chance to talk. I'm check with Nerds. It's something Nerds that is Simon and Mary, and I was chatting with Mary the other day, on her thing and making comments. And the thing is the thing I found about the two of them is they love Disneyland, and we agreed on one thing, and that was we agreed on a lot of things, but we agreed on one thing in particular that I think is very important, and that's Disneyland makes us happy. You go to Disneyland, you completely become immersed. It brings you back to what I call Walt Disney's dream, which is to forget everything else and to just have a good time and relax. I mean, suddenly happy. I mean, I don't have to be on a ride, or I don't have to be, which doesn't bother me a whole lot, to be in a line for 40 minutes. No big deal. And be able to just relax, have a good time, and forget everything. And it's funny because when you come away from it, then it's like, oh my God, I missed that. I had such a good time. And again, I can't say enough good things about Earl of Sandwich, which is in downtown Disney. And those people, Christina, Roberto, Erica, Brett, who's the head honcho there, I guess. I mean, I saw them like every day, every morning I'd go in, and Roberto would say, do you want the usual, which was a Bloody Mary and a cup of coffee? And he'd have that ready for me and just set it up there. Christina or Erica would say, you want your usual breakfast? And it'd be like, yeah, that would be, and they'd just go over and punch it up. They knew exactly what I wanted. I felt like Norm from Cheers. It was a nice place to start my day. And usually I'd end my day there. I'd have a nice dinner that was much cheaper than in Disneyland. They would have my food ready for me very quickly, and I felt very much like I was taken care of. I can't say enough good things about that place. And the fact that it's going to be torn down, and yes, they're building a new one, but I mean, there may be, it seems very unclear. I do have some info that I was given that I can't share, but we'll see how it all works out. But supposedly then that they're going to have that building destroyed, building a new building farther down in downtown Disney. But let's face it, between the time that one's torn down and the new building is ready for them to move in, it could be anything from maybe a month if they jumped on it real quick and got things done, or it could be a year. And if it is, I mean, you're going to lose these people because they need work, and that would be sad. That would be very sad. I really want to plan a trip, and looking at planning a trip in November. No, you can't go. And if I do, I'm going to go there, but I'm hoping it's still open, and I'm hoping they're still there. That's the thing, is that I want to be able to go and see them and enjoy their hospitality again. I don't know what's going to happen, but and certainly while I was there this last time, a lot of Disney is boarded off. I mean, you've got the Astro Orbiter thingy was boarded off. You've got Titania's Bayou, or Splash Mountain, as it were, is closed off. Haunted Mansion is closed off. And again, these are people who are, bitching and moaning. It's like they own it when they talk about it, right? It's like we should be the first ones in the door. We should be the first one. We should get in. I agree. And I'm sorry, it doesn't revolve around you. You've chose your money to do that. Now, either go or don't go. I don't care, but if you that unhappy, then just don't go. Go buy your yearly pass to Universal. See if that's a lot more fun. Yeah, it won't be with it. Because it's really just as expensive pretty much once you've panned it all out. So quit throwing so much shade. Enjoy the park as it's meant to be, and I still think it's like Walt Stream, like Mary said. It's a place to go and forget everything, and it for me, as it did her and Simon, is it really just becomes kind of your home for that day, and it's a completely different universe. Um, and it's obvious too that these people who are again trying to throw Iger out, you do realize that the Disney stock went from $82 to 116 in like 2 weeks. So I would say that they're seeing that there's a marked improvement, and with what they're planning on doing is great. In fact, if I was going to complain about something, which I don't really want to, but I'll say that, I'm not a big fan of Avatar. I don't. The movies to me were just they were okay, but nothing super special and blah blah blah. And with the new Disney Forward, if they're going to access that property and make a new land, I'm not real thrilled with have an Avatar land. I'm just not. But that's okay. That's me, right? I'm not really super excited about Harry Potter land. I mean, I like the movies, okay, but again, not the biggest thing. But I'm sure there's those that are going to love it, and those that are going to love Avatar. There's those that obviously Harry Potter's big, but Avatar would probably be big for a little while. But I just don't see lasting power with it. But I could be wrong, and who knows how it would turn out and how it would work out. They're talking about a frozen land. They're talking, all these things. And I'm old school. I love the old Mickey Mouse. I love Steamboat Willie. I love Donald. I love Chippendale. It goes on and on. To me, that's Disney, and that's I enjoy that so much. Um, and the one that really strikes me, of course, is when the um, Tarzan movie came out. There was a couple of songs in there about you know staying together or whatever, and I just remember that became my daughter, who at the time was about 3 years old. She loved that song, and it would bring tears to my eyes, literally. Um, every time I'd put it on, and she'd have me put it on because she loved it, and all I could think of was her. Um, she's now, out of college and well done and all that, and I don't get to talk to her or see her as much, but um, that always reminds me of her, and so it's very touching to me. Um, but anyway, I guess what I'm saying is, as a good friend of mine, Dana DiLorenzo, um, Kelly from Ash versus the Evil Dead, as we had a discussion, is unfortunately we live in an age where people think it's great just to stir up shit, and they want to throw fits and they want to throw trash. And I wonder how many of those people that get on there and bash about Disney really have not been to Disneyland or don't go to Disneyland, but they just read some, and then they think, okay, well, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. And in the case of some of these YouTubers, it cracks me up because all they care about is you subscribing to them so they can get money. So are you going to give to them even though they may not know what they're even talking about? And in most cases, that's exactly what it is. Um, it just gets tiring, and it takes a lot out of people to be trashed on. So enjoy the things that you really like. I mean, if you really like Universal or Knott's Berry Farm so much better than Disney, go there, go to their website, tell them how great you love it, and leave it at that. Don't bash the others. I don't go on Universal and bash Universal. To me, Universal is not what it was in the even the '90s, which was to me incredible. I had so many good times, and granted, I once for a while, a couple of years there, I had good VIP passage into Universal as I did Warner Brothers. And Knott's Berry Farm, I spent a couple of days there way back. It was probably late '80s, early '90s, and it was okay. I just didn't have a great time. I didn't feel like I feel when I walk through the gates at Disneyland. I didn't feel, oh, I'm now into this whole different dimension of happiness and a good time. If you do, again, kudos. Everybody's not the same, and that's a good thing, I think. Yeah, we can't be, but I think to just crap on other things for the purpose of crapping on other things, that's silly. It's just silly. So anyway, there you go. That's my rant for the day. And as some of you know, I ran a video in Facebook page that used to be rant, and that's all I did was rant. But I get tired of ranting too. I'm gonna rant on you in a minute, pal. So anyway, I love the Star Wars land, the Galaxy Edge, and all of that. And I literally, people complaining about the lines. I'll tell you, I went on a Monday, and I went in it was after rope drop. It was like probably 9 o'clock, maybe 9:30. After I had made my normal morning visit to Earl of Sandwich, because that was when I found out that the girls were still there, that Christina and Erica was still there, and that Roberto was still there, and was able to eat and get myself ready for the day. Everybody needs to get ready for the day. It might happen to be Bloody Marys. I mean, and breakfast. But I got there about 9:30, somewhere in that bracket. But I hit 6 rides within the first hour. Space Mountain first, which was a big mistake, because it, right off the bat, wasn't the best thing for my equilibrium or stomach. But I did it, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad, it was the first time I'd ever done Space Mountain. I just had never hit it before. The Matterhorn was closed, so I didn't get a chance to hit that morning. But everything else I did: Indiana Jones, Jungle Cruise, Millennium Falcon, Rise of the Resistance. I even hit Mickey's and Minnie's Runaway Train, which I loved. That's so much fun. And I hit all those early in the morning, before my reservation at Olga's was popped up, and then I went into Olga's and had a bloody rancor and met some really nice people there and chatted with them, and then headed back out in the park and did some other rides, and doubled up again on Star Tours. Hit it 2 or 3 times that day. So I mean, you can't say you can't do it. You can. It's up to you. And then I noticed that day, then when I got back, actually, then I went and had dinner at Earl of Sandwich, and had a couple of Guinness, and met some people there and talked to them for quite some time. In fact, was going to leave, and I bought them a round of drinks, and then they were like, "No, you can't go. You got to sit down, and we bought this for you." And they gave me another beer, and so we sat there again, and it was probably about 11:30 when I left, or thereabouts. I don't remember, and walked back to my hotel room. And that day I put 18 and a half miles. No, it was 18 and a half miles on my, walking. Checked on my watch all the time, and to see how far I was going, and had a great time, just a great time went home, went to the hotel, crashed, and came back the next day and did it all over again. So, if you're planning a trip, and I understand that the complaints about, well, children had a special lower price here for a while. Now that's gone. They've got a business to run too. And to be honest, you can see pictures of it on my Facebook page where there literally was hundreds of strollers that were parked while people were taking rides in like 5 different locations. And so, hopefully those kids were having a great time, but, it is what it is. And I hope those kids are brought up on Disney and that the parents teaching them, wasn't that a great time? And if you didn't like it, just say so, right? But don't make a big frickin' constitutional, downgrade about it. So anyway, there's my rant. I'll be in April. I'll be going to May. I'll be going to Crypticon, and one of the things I'm really excited about meeting is Julie Brown. For those of you that remember her from MTV, and Earth Girls Are Easy, because she's a blonde. Yeah. And I just love that movie too with Gina Davis, and there was so many funny things about that movie. But I'll be doing that, and then hopefully then in November I'll be back in the Magic Kingdom. So I'll let it go at that for the moment, and everybody take care, be safe, but be happy, and be happy with the things that you are happy with, and the people you're happy with, for that matter too. I'm blocking all these frickin' YouTubers about that are basically telling you one thing, because I find a lot of it's a lie, and a lot of it is just whining and bitching. But I can't say enough good things about nerds that Mary and Simon are just great, because they enjoy it, they love it, and you can see it on their faces that they're just having a good time. And I would love to have met up with them and had drinks, maybe the next time. And you guys all take care, and take care of each other. Can we do that? Yeah, okay. Take care, people. Talk to you soon. Bye.